There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
You'd be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
I'm plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.
Hey, Joe.
Chris.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe.
And this is In the Veins.
Woo-hoo!
And today we're talking about...
We are talking about 2000 Trick or Treat. Every aspect of this movie is going to require a little bit of explanation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Starting at the top at the release date. Technically, this movie did release in 2007. It was in a couple of film festivals and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I remember hearing a lot of industry buzz about it at the time. Then
There were like ads, man. I remember seeing stuff
Yeah.
about it, and then
it was
just
going to be in
nothing.
theaters. It was going to have a theatrical release. And then, what was it? Was it the studio exec? Like the studio changed hands or something like that? Was it one of those deals?
Well, no, at first it was going to conflict with some other horror movie, maybe one of the Saw movies, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But they didn't want to go head to head with a big name.
Okay. That's
And
fair.
so they pushed it, and then it ended up just getting shelved. And
it got shelved hard.
Well, one of the things I read is that Michael Dougherty, who directed it, and what's his name? The producer, the one that directed Usual Suspects. Why am I'm
Oh,
smart?
jeez.
I swear to God, I'm smart until I turn the camera on.
Yeah, exactly. William Fay?
No.
There's
Anyway,
so many executive producers. Brian
Dougherty
Singer.
Singer directed Superman Returns. Dougherty helped write it.
Oh,
Then
okay.
Dougherty directed this, and Singer produced it. But Superman Returns tanked. Like there's a lot of blowback.
That's
so
right.
there's-
That's what I'm thinking of. Yes.
So there's some sense that they didn't have
didn't
any
wanna-
confidence.
Yeah. And it was the sort of thing they were actually talking about, like trashing it
Yeah.
and just writing it off as a tax write-off. Thankfully, people came to its defense and rallied, and it got a home video release in 2009. And this is one of those ones, like, I remember when I first saw it, which was shortly after the video release, maybe 2010 or so, like that. And was like, and it was the sort of thing where it's like I'd heard good things about it, and then I saw it, and I was like, "This I'm gonna have to watch every year. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
an
yeah.
instant classic." And then, for some reason, I fell off with it, and my opinion of it started waning, to the point where I hadn't seen it for a couple of years. I watched it for this, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my God, this is good."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion, I don't think ever really waned. I always knew how good it was, but yeah,
Sure.
I fell off because shit, it's been out since 2009, so
Yeah.
it's been a minute. You know, it's been 16
been a hot
years of
minute, yes.
watched it every year for probably a decade.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I just got to know it too well. I think when it came time for Halloween movies, it's easier to get excited about something you know a little less. But
Sure.
But you're right. Then I watched it, and I watched it today actually, and just so excited about it. Like I didn't
And
want to play on my phone or anything. You know?
Right, and it's wild because it's like watching it was like, oh, this felt like too quick. This felt like it was over too fast, and I feel like
it
I
was
want
shorter, I think, than I remembered. Because they
Um,
cram a lot into it.
They cram a lot into it. There's at least, I believe there's supposed to be like 4 primary segments.
Well, what we've got?
I count more because like bits like the opening and stuff. But like the principal, werewolf party, school bus massacre, meet Sam. I believe are the 4
yeah.
primary ones.
Yeah.
But you've got a bunch of little stuff along the way. Written and directed by Michael Dougherty, like you said.
Mhm.
And what's interesting about this is I always thought of it as an anthology film. It's not really. An anthology movie like VHS or something like that is when you have these individual segments, usually by different writers, directors, producers, crews.
Yeah.
And then you put them together with some kind of backing story typically, and that's what you present. And you end up with wildly varying quality between the stories.
Yeah.
Because of that. See later entries in the VHS series.
Yeah.
But this is all one guy's vision. And what's interesting about it, and I can't believe I didn't remember this. I knew to some degree it did, but the interweaving between the stories is much more intricate than I remember. Like one story will go until it gets to essentially like a point for a time jump. And then you'll, instead of time jumping in that story, you'll go to progress in a different story.
Yeah, I agree that it's not a traditional anthology movie, but I still think of it that way.
Well, like
You're
each of the
still getting-
stories is, each of the stories is kind of bespoke. Like there are points of interconnection, but it's all kind of tangential.
But all stories could stand on their own.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like none of the
all have
interactions
definitive-
between the stories really have a tremendous effect. Even the guy that ends up being the victim in the werewolf party,
Principal Wilkins.
Yeah. That could have been anybody. Like it was cool that it was him, but you could have swapped him out for anybody.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
that story
I agree
could have been
100%.
on its own. So I
agree
still
100%.
feel, because then your backing story is just Sam. You know, Sam is the
constant
thread.
Yeah,
And-
he's what connects it all together.
Yeah. So I
But,
think it's like,
yeah.
I feel like it's I guess, reimagined anthology. It's if Quentin Tarantino made an anthology movie.
That's exactly
You
it.
know?
Quentin Tarantino, if Pulp Fiction was instead about Halloween,
Yes.
which I remember reading in an interview with Michael Dougherty, but at the time when he was making it, was that the idea behind the whole movie was there are a lot of movies called Halloween or set around Halloween, and they're never about Halloween itself.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
always
they really aren't.
It's just a setting, and so his intention was to make a movie that was about Halloween.
Yes, and we needed
Um,
that. It's
and we
amazing
needed
it
it,
took
and
so
it's-
long.
It is tremendous. But for simplicity's sake, because we're going to talk about like individual stories which have different casts and different characters, my notes, we're just going to go through each story kind of complete rather than doing the jump back and forth, because that's
And then at the end we can talk about all the cool little crossover points. And stuff.
absolutely. And I tried to pull out crossovers in my notes and stuff.
Mhm.
But let's get into it. So our opening credits, we have a cold open where we have this very cool, like 60s, 50s vintage style trick or treat safety reel. I don't think even had video back then. And it's like the three main points it had were like stay on the sidewalks, don't talk to strangers, and never trick or treat alone. We'll talk at the end, but I feel like this movie proposes its own quote unquote rules for Halloween.
Yes.
And I don't know that these are they. But it's a neat little thing to kind of get us in the vibe of, okay, this is the mode that we're in.
Yeah. Well, and Michael Dougherty, that little video reel wasn't originally going to be in the movie, and then they put it in the trailers, and he liked it so much that he added it to the movie.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and it gives it kind of an old-fashioned vibe. And one of the things that I really paid attention to was the timelessness of it, because you see some vehicles and you can kind of place a general decade or something.
Yes, yeah.
And it was made in the early 2000s before smartphones were really a thing, but you don't
sure.
you do see a couple of cell phones, things like that, but it's not so specifically dated.
No,
It's clearly not the 50s, but it's
it's definitely like our modern era, but there's no technology that becomes particular to it.
no.
So it does have a little bit of it has something of a timeless quality to it. And I
Mhm.
mean, the themes of the stories have nothing to do with technology. They're very kind of primally themed.
Oh, yeah.
But so our cold open continues. We have a hard cut to a jack-o'-lantern, which we see Rhonda from the School Bus Massacre go by with her wagon, dragging her wagon of pumpkins. And as she's crossing the road, she almost gets hit by the werewolves from Surprise Party, which is actually a shot we will see from multiple angles, multiple times as we see the interconnection of these stories, which is fun.
Yeah.
And we get Sam Hain, as he's called, Sam's point of view as he watches our opening thing. Sam is awesome. He's the quintessential spirit of Halloween, or at least the spirit of trick-or-treating, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and even I don't think Michael Dougherty even has completely worked out his origin.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But he's great. I love him. He's played by a young actor named Quinn Lord. And we'll get more of him as the story goes on. Of course, he's omnipresent.
You get to see him just out of the Sam costume as a
in my
kid,
notes.
right?
Yeah, that's it's in there. It's in there. We'll get there.
He's the peeping Tom.
He's the peeping Tom in the surprise party. So our opening is a couple, which is Temo Pickett, that's a name. Tenno Pennicott, who is dressed as Flash Gordon.
We know him as that dude from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, that's fair. And his girlfriend, Emma, who's played by Leslie Bibb.
Who is married to, this doesn't mean anything, but she's married to Sam Rockwell, I think.
Okay, that's cool.
Or they're together. I love Sam Rockwell so much.
He's fantastic. I have no notes on Sam Rockwell. He steals films. He steals scenes. So Emma, Leslie Bibb, is dressed as in an awesome cardboard old school robot costume, with like the dryer vent arms and stuff like that. It's great. So they are coming home. Henry and Emma, they're coming home and they are tired from partying their asses off, as one does. And the front lawn is decorated with I call them scare ghosts. They're kind of scarecrow looking ghost figures. They're kind of a cross with a sheet over it, essentially. But scarecrow stick bodies. And Emma is pissy. She's had enough Halloween. And so she goes to blow out the jack-o'-lantern, and Henry stops her, telling her it's bad luck to blow out a jack-o'-lantern before midnight. Come on, man. Everybody knows that. And we'll soon see they live in fucking Halloween Central, so you should probably know that.
It's the Halloweeniest town there ever was.
It really is. I want to move there.
Yeah.
Emma is...
You mean Vancouver?
Emma is a complete stick in the mud, and she's just like, this is ridiculous. All these decorations have to come down because my mother is visiting us tomorrow. And her mother's apparently a jerk and will judge them for having Halloween decorations on Halloween. I don't know. And so
they had to have some excuse.
Right.
Because everybody watching this is like, you're hammered. You just got back. It's late. And you want to take down all your decorations right now?
And it's not a small setup.
No.
It's quite elaborate.
For someone who hates Halloween, they really went all out.
I'm wasted. I'm tired. Let me spend an hour and a half dragging decorations down. Maybe I could put them in a nice big pile of sticks on my front lawn. That way my mother-in-law will judge us positively? ?
Maybe she was just going to put them in a big pile and light them on fire.
Yeah, well, she can jump in it herself. She's a piece of shit. So she blows out the jack-o'-lantern. And her fate is sealed. So Henry promises he's going to take the decorations down tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We can just have sex, and then I'll just take them down in the morning, babe. And she's like, no, you're not. You're going to sleep until noon, and then you're going to play video games because our life is unfulfilling to me. And I
mean, that sounds pretty rad, though.
It does. That's pretty good. Blowjob, sleep late, video games. He proposes, so Henry says, like, I'll put on the tape. Apparently sex between them requires a tape, Chris. I don't know what fetish this is. But
I don't know.
I'm not a psychologist.
I know that if these two people have a child, its cheekbones are going to cut glass.
I don't know. I assume that she must have some kind of psychological condition where she can't have sex on a holiday unless she watches a very specific VHS cassette. She probably
it's
can't
instructional.
enjoy.
It's not even pornography.
It's true. I mean, she probably can't even enjoy like chocolate ice cream. She's probably just a piece of shit in general. So she tells him to go inside and start the tape because he likes the beginning of the tape. I don't know.
I guess.
And so to get in the mood instead, she's just gonna tear down all their decorations like a savage.
Yeah, you know who wouldn't tear down decorations on Halloween?
Daniel's dad.
Daniel's dad.
Yeah, he would know better.
He would
also
know better.
Apparently, I guess her arousal doesn't come from watching the tape, but by knowing that someone somewhere is watching the tape without her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that a withholding thing? I don't know. So she starts taking down the decorations.
If she had more time in our world, she would need to seek help.
She would, but she doesn't, and she starts taking down the decorations because she is a bad person. Yes. But then she sees some kids like running down the street and stuff, some late trick-or-treaters, assumably, and she smiles at the sight of children enjoying Halloween, though she herself does not. What does that say to you, Chris? Bad person. Exactly. I don't know what her problem is. And then there's a kid across the street in like a mask that seems like he's staring at her, and she gets a little creeped out. Then it turns out it's just a teenager who's spacing out while he's waiting for his ride. So it's a little, little tensiony, little release, Oh, maybe that's part of it. Then she whips the cloth off one of those ghosts. It turns out that it is, in fact, Sam, the beloved spirit of All Hallows Eve, who jumps and pulls out a pumpkin sucker that has been bitten to a knife's edge that he uses to slit her throat. Since Emma feels joy as pain and pain as joy, she's overwhelmed by this. And pair that with the knowledge that the tape is playing somewhere. I assume that this is the equivalent of an orgasm for her. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Henry has passed out watching the tape and cannot hear Emma's screams because of the sounds on the tape. I guess eroticism has overwhelmed his senses, or maybe it's a tape of Emma's 12th birthday party. I don't know. There are probably a lot of screams at that too, because they tried to serve her cake. And she, anything that causes joy. But also maybe that's part of it too for her.
Maybe it is part of it too.
If he's unconscious, she can engage.
Maybe she just knows that he's going to pass out and she just hates her husband and doesn't want to touch him.
I don't know, which is more fucked up. You know what I mean? The scenes of Emma's bloody death scare off a trio of trick-or-treaters. We will see these particular trick-or-treaters several times. They are dressed each as a different clown.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of thing that just sort of pops up and keeps popping up, but that's what this movie is based on, is weird little things.
Yeah, and we're not there yet, but the other kid in the fucking grave in Wilkins' backyard is, when his hand comes out, he's
also dressed as a clown.
It's a clown costume.
Right. I wonder if he is. I didn't pay enough attention to how they were dressed.
But it couldn't be one of these kids, like, if you've put it all in order.
I don't...
because this is the very end of the night.
He would have killed this kid much earlier in the night. That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's interesting. It's a very popular costume in that town for some reason. It's just generic clown. Huh. Weird. Eventually, Henry wakes up and realizes he has not been ravaged. And Emma is nowhere to be found. So he goes out to the yard to look for her. And when he pulls off one of the sheets, he finds Emma's decapitated head with the remains of that pumpkin sucker stuck in her mouth, jammed on one of the sticks. Happy fucking Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great. Credits. Start credits. That's the beginning of this movie. They haven't even rolled credits yet, Chris. With the credits, we get some really cool comic book style images from the film. Like as if they made a Trick or Treat comic book, which I happen to know they did. I got it somewhere.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, it's nice. And these images are from that. It's very cool. Then we cut to a parade. My description said it was a parade. It's not a parade. It is a big, crazy ass party, is what it is. It is Bourbon Street on Fat Frickin' Tuesday, man. It is,
and it's funny
chaos.
because I remembered it as a parade too.
Okay,
but it's not. You're right.
Are there
it's
aspects
just a big
of
street
a parade?
party.
Is there a band marching?
I think it's just the way it's shot. I think that you get that kind of overhead shot down the street, and the street is full of people in costumes, and you get that sense of it moving, And I think that it leaves the impression of a parade.
In any event, I would love to live in this town if this is how they handle Halloween.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And how do I find towns that handle Halloween?
Right where everybody is this invested in a party of this scale.
And everybody that isn't knows to just stay inside.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Or gets, murdered by Sam.
Or Principal Wilkins.
We see Charlie, the boy who will be murdered by Sam, or by Principal Wilkins, weave his way through the crowd dragging a burlap sack of candy. Stolen candy, probably. He's a piece of shit. And eventually we get into the principal. We're going to call this the first story, the principal. So Charlie, played by Brett Kelly, he was actually the kid who played the kid Thurman in the Bad Santa movies. So that's his claim to fame. He walks through a neighborhood knocking over jack-o'-lanterns that, people carved by hand to make a nice display because he's a piece of shit. He probably gets bad grades. He probably will never amount to anything. He comes to a house with a bucket of candy, which is unattended, and a sign that says, "Please take one," with one emphasized. And, we all know what's about to happen. Shitstain McGee is dumping the whole bucket into his bag, which is a bag that he probably stole from some other kid because he's a jerk, when somebody startles him from behind. And that's when Shitstain recognizes the interloper as Principal Stephen Wilkins, played by Dylan Baker, to wonderful aplomb, I think.
Oh, yeah.
His
He's
part
always
is
good.
He is. He's always good, and he does a great job in this one of walking that line with humorous and threatening. It's really tremendous. So Principal Wilkes tells Charlie to sit down on the porch while he tells him about the spirit of the season. And he gives him a candy bar to eat because that'll placate his little shit stain ass. And he begins explaining the etiquette and how to respect the holiday and how that's important until Charlie begins coughing. And Principal Wilkins tells him that he's forgotten the most important rule. Always check your candy. Which is when Charlie vomits blood and chocolate and drops. It's tremendous. It's great.
Oh, it's a lot, too.
So much.
It is so much.
It's comical because he just keeps doing it, and Principal Wilkins trying to do he's trying to do like the villain thing of like, ha ha ha, I've captured you. I was caught in my web. And he just keeps getting interrupted by the kid vomiting more.
Yeah, and he's like looking around because it's going on. He just want to get spotted out there with him.
This is kind of extreme.
When he carries him in the house, he even like yerks up a little more.
He's dragging him in, and it's just like he gets it all down the front of him. And he has a nice moment. He's like, ah, and he's just dragged Charlie's body into the house when the doorbell rings, and he has to go to the door with a giant blood and chocolate stained chest. And he finds Macy, Chip, and Sarah from School Bus Massacre.
Yeah.
Who figure he's just wearing a costume. Mm-hmm. And they ask him if they can have his jack-o'-lantern for a project. He's more than happy to give them whatever they want if they will just go away, because he has bodies to get rid of. And he gives them each candy, and who is the last kid that he gives candy to but our dear Sam, who is so weird and just perfect. I love it.
Well, and it's also, he has a great creepy moment there where the last kid sees the like stains on the ground and then looks up at him. And he's obviously like disturbed by it, and he sees him put together, and all the other kids walk away and he just smiles. He's like, "Happy Halloween."
Like you can tell, like, this is what he feeds on. Like,
no one will believe you. I'm the principal. People love me. Like,
Bill Murray stealing a fry from somebody's plate at McDonald's tray at McDonald's. Like, no one will ever believe you. Door close. It's great. But Sam is I love the little bits of interaction with Sam, and we get to see, like, for instance, Sam approves of this guy's actions, essentially.
Well, because evil is not against the rules for Sam.
Right, he's not trespassing on Halloween by doing this.
No.
Technically.
Doing evil shit's fine. It's not giving candy to kids. It's the little detail rules. The ritual of Halloween has to be observed.
That's the only thing he cares about, yes.
Yeah, you can murder the shit out of children if you're keeping your pumpkins lit and handing out candy. As long as your
pumpkins ain't out before midnight, baby. Wilkins drags Charlie's body to a grave that he's already dug in the backyard that already contains another child's corpse, as we mentioned.
Yeah, he's riling out on Halloween. Like,
there are a lot of deaths in this movie, and it's like, this town probably has a lot of those.
Well, but like a bunch of them are just the principal. It's at least 3 are the principal.
Yeah. And then the principal dies.
Then the countless number of kids that eat the candy he handed out, because you see in his house that he's filling it with poison and razor blades.
Yeah, this is a project for him. So comically, as he tries to secretly bury the child corpses in the dead of night, his young son, Billy, played by Connor Christopher Levine, starts to shout at him from an upstairs window, asking him for help carving the pumpkin and handing out candy, blah, 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 blah. It's a great scene. He's back and forth with him, like, Billy, go inside. And Billy just keeps screaming at him like, okay, like he's just trying to get him he's just whisper yelling at him, trying to get him to stop screaming at him and drawing attention to the backyard. Which is when the neighbor's dog, this is Mr. Krieg's dog, Spite is the name of the dog, played by Zip. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Spite the dog begins to bark and worry at the fence because he smells dead bodies. Just as the other child corpse, the clown, begins to show some weak signs of life. So Wilkins has to stab one of the kid's arms with the shovel, cutting off one of his fingers and throwing that to the dog to placate it.
I feel like that must have been Charlie's hand because the clown kid's wearing gloves.
Well, that's a valid point. Yeah, it would have been easier, right? So Mr. Krieg comes out to see what his dog Spite is barking about and what the hell Wilkins is doing in his backyard in the middle of the night. And to bitch about the smell, which he describes as it stinks like a dead whore. And tries to snoop at Mr. Wilkins through a hole in the fence. Wilkins tells him, the damn septic tank. And Krieg goes back inside, placated by this, and tells him on his way back, way out, tell your kid to stay out of my yard, which is a weird non sequitur. At that moment, we will eventually get some more knowledge on what that's about. Excuse me. And with him gone, Wilkins finally kills the clown child with his shovel, and cut to him filling in the hole, essentially. He's planted some flowers, he's watering it, it's all done. As he's going back into his house, he sees Mr. Krieg trying to get his attention from an from a window in his own house, in Mr. Krieg's own house, trying to get his attention, call for help, which Wilkins dismisses because fuck that old guy, he's a pain in my ass. And we see Krieg get tackled down. Yeah. Again, we'll get that story eventually.
Well, but this is also one of those points where they used a clever passage of time.
Yes,
because at the end there was a point where I was like, wait, it doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't add up right now, and then I realized that it did because of one of these things where you got a quick jump while he's filling in the hole.
Right, it's a time jump. Yes.
Yeah, we don't know how long it took him to fill in the hole, but we kind of do later when we watch Krieg's story because
I mean, I think everything is resolved by midnight.
I think so, but I just mean that from Krieg talking about the dead horse stink to Krieg banging on the window trying to get help is a lot longer
in Krieg's story.
But they do the time jump with him burying the kid to fill that in. They just did a good job with those little time jumps, keeping it fluid enough that you can make it all work.
Absolutely. And it does mean that almost everything is happening at the exact same time, which is really cool.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Coming in the house, Wilkins gets scared by his son Billy jumping out from behind the kitchen counter, and Billy asks him for help carving his jack-o'-lantern. At this point, Wilkins is kind of on edge, so he's he's gaining a little bit of an anxiety and stuff. And Wilkins has a bit of an annoyed tone with him and grabs a knife from the counter to follow Billy down to the basement to help him carve the jack-o'-lantern. Billy runs ahead to a table in the basement, his body blocking us from seeing the pumpkin, and he asks to carve a scary face this time. Wilkins puts a hand on Billy's head and then stabs forward with the knife and then pulls back the knife and it's bloody. So it's a nice little switch and reveal where we're supposed to assume that he has grown tired of his own son and has murdered him brutally. But then Billy says, we pan down and Billy's still alive. And this is a neat little moment where, I don't know about you, but for me, watching this, especially for the first time, I have this moment of running through your mind. What is it? What's going on? Is the child real? Is the child a ghost? Is the child a figment of his deranged imagination? A representation of his guilt over child murder? Does he even have a son? Is this a Son of Sam type of thing where the kid makes him kill to demand blood? What are we doing? Is it an actual demon tormenting him? Who knows? And then we see from a different angle that he never came close to stabbing his son. Yeah, it's actually Charlie's decapitated head on the table.
Yes.
and they are carving a jack-o'-lantern from his decapitated head. So he is passing on his crazy to his son.
Absolutely.
As
Well, and when
as the
he yells that
Halloween-
Charlie Brown is an asshole, he's talking about this kid, Charlie.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I never put that together. That's
He said,
wonderful.
"Go watch Charlie Brown,"
Charlie Brown is an asshole.
and he is.
That
He
didn't even
was.
occur to me that the character's Charlie.
He
That's
was
great.
an asshole.
Probably a bully.
Well, yeah, did you see him? Of course he was.
Somewhere around this, we get a brief interim of the three characters from Halloween School Bus Massacre. Macy, Chip, and Sarah. What's up?
Oh,
Yes.
there is
Well, I
dialogue.
assume-
It's
what I
just
ass-
screaming in the background.
Right. What I assume is because he told Charlie to watch TV. So
Okay.
he's coming in assuming that that's what Charlie is doing. So
Yeah.
Charlie has left the TV running as a way to distract his father so that he can pop out from behind the counter and scare him more effectively.
Okay. Because it occurred to me that it would not be beyond the realm of possibility for him to have somebody somewhere in that house chained up and screaming.
It's not impossible. Not impossible. Who knows?
This guy really covers all bets when it comes to evil serial killer Halloween shit.
He does. He's doing a lot. This is a
Yes.
lot. I mean, like the 2 kids is enough, I would think, but he goes out again.
Yep.
So we get a brief interim somewhere in here as we're cutting back and forth between stories and whatnot, where Macy, Chip, and Sarah from the Halloween School Bus Massacre, which is the next story that we're going to talk about, they're going around they're going door to different places and asking for these jack-o'-lanterns, which we'll see later why. And they knock on a door, and it is a very adult, very drunk sex party going on.
And it's clearly their teachers.
Yes.
Like it is authority figures that they recognize.
Mrs. whatever, Mr. whatever, and they are having sex back there, and it's disturbing.
Well, a lady that answers the door is shaking her ass at him. She's
She's
hammered.
dressed as a
and-
cat. It's messed up. But it's a cute little moment where it's just like, this is also Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween is when people do shit they can't normally do.
It's true. So the Halloween School Bus Massacre. So 4 teenagers. So we've got Macy, who's dressed as an angel. Chip, Macy, Brett McKillop. Sorry. She's dressed as an angel. Chip, Alberto GC, dressed as a pirate. Sarah, Isabella DeLuce, dressed as an alien. Meet up with Schrader, who is dressed as a unclear at that.
Yeah, he's wearing like he's dressed like Don Johnson in a skull mask. Like he's got
I
the
believe he has
80s
like a sugar skull mask on, but we never get a clear
Yeah.
shot of it. He never puts it down over his face. He's supposed to be a cute boy, per
Right.
preteen standards, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
another part of the timeless sort of thing is that all of the costumes in this are kind of generic, all around Halloween costumes. Clowns,
Very homemade.
robots. Yeah, very homemade. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
I-
store bought ones are like the girls, the werewolf party, you know.
Right. They meet up with Schrader and
But I mean,
they're
there's no Freddy Kruegers wandering around this town.
no,
like-
we're not getting any kind of licensed characters.
Yeah.
And nothing that's not what's the word? General, uncopyright protected.
Public domain. Public domain.
Yay.
Well, yeah, and that's also why all the candy is fake names. They had to
Right,
actually put
of
in
course.
some time making up different candy names.
Yeah, they would have
so-
to Greek it all, so.
Yeah.
They're collecting jack-o'-lanterns and they have some, they need more. They need 8 total. And that is when they go to Rhonda's house, played by Sam Todd. And she is dressed as a witch. And it's talked about that she's an idiot savant.
Yeah.
She's on the spectrum. And Macy does not like Rhonda because Macy is a popular girl and Rhonda is not. That's the vibe I got.
Macy doesn't really seem to like anybody.
Strong Mean Girls vibes.
Yes.
And Rhonda clearly has a thing for Schrader. It feels like Macy recruited Schrader so that she could get Rhonda to play this rather cruel prank that we will see on
Yeah.
her. And then, so Schrader asks her for one of the literal dozens of pumpkins in her yard, and invites her to come with them. Rhonda is on the spectrum, quiet but sweet. And she clearly has a soft spot for Schrader. Blah blah blah. So she agrees to come with them, and he's, she carved all the pumpkins herself, made her own costume. She's a resourceful young woman.
And I want to decorate the house. Me and Amber both want to someday have enough pumpkins or fake pumpkins.
This is why I want to buy like one or two of those carvable pumpkins every year and do just a couple of awesome pumpkins. And then the problem is, where the hell do you store them afterwards? Because they take up a lot of space. They're not space efficient. But yeah, no, that's the dream, is just a shit ton of pumpkins everywhere. So Macy leads the group to a quarry. I don't know if this was intentional or if it's just sort of like imagery that invokes the season, but I think of the image from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, of the kind of the three masks of that film, the pumpkin, the skeleton, and the witch, kind of walking in the moonlight silhouetted, when we see these kind of group of 4 silhouetted figures in costume walking along. It's rather lovely. Feels very authentic. Very, very seasonal. En route, Rhonda chats with Chip about the origins of Halloween, explaining it's the one in a year where the dead the veil is the thinnest and the dead can come back and affect the living. So they get to the place, and Sarah asks Macy, like, why the hell are we here? And Macy then tells the story of the legendary Halloween school bus massacre. So we get a story within a story. A school bus, which was containing 8 kids who are each apparently horribly mentally disturbed on Halloween, existed in existence at some point. It was like 30 years ago. And the kids were the parents apparently had gotten so distraught from trying to and so embarrassed from having to deal with these kids who were so monstrous that they were chained to their seats, that they paid the school bus driver to just get rid of the kids, with the plan to drive the school bus into the rock quarry, which of course is filled with water, and just drown them all, which is rather horrible. But as the school bus driver drives them to the quarry, we see each of their increasingly grotesque homemade Halloween costumes. It's very fun. I especially like the kid with the paper bag head that has like facial features cut out of magazines of all different scales, like glued to it. And the kid in the back who's wearing there's like a devil mask, but it's like a foot and a half above his head, and then like blankets wrapped around it. It's weird and creepy. Yeah,
it is bizarre. It's good though. It has that creepy old school, like the Dracula kid has a very vintage looking.
Yeah, it's like a half mask where it cuts off at the upper part of the mouth so you can see his jaw moving. Yeah, it feels very vintage. It feels very it's good. It's good stuff. So they're chained to their seats, and the bus driver, at this point played by Gerald Pates, goes through as he parks in the quarry, and that kid with the Dracula mask has noticed that they are not going home, and he is disturbed by it. But the driver does not notice. He is going around distributing candy, checking chains, making sure that none of these little guys are going to get out. As he's at the back of the bus checking chains, the Dracula kid slips from his restraints, gets in the driver's seat, and very much so accidentally puts the bus in gear. As the driver tries to run and stop him, the kids trip him, he falls, and then soon enough, the bus goes over the cliff edge and plunges into the waters below. The driver, according to the legend, the driver managed to pull himself from the wreckage. But we do have a moment of the driver kind of on the shore, and he's got this horrible wheezing breathing, apparently from it, which will become important later. The children's corpses were never recovered, we're told. The town just left them there to try and forget about them. And then we flash back to the proper story, and Macy tells them that there were 8 children there. They have collected 8 jack-o'-lanterns for 8 ghosts. They're going to take them down to the shore of the quarry lake to leave as an offering to the spirits. And there is an elevator, conveniently, to take them down to that shore, but it can only hold so much at a time. So Macy, Sarah, and Schrader get in first, leaving Chip and Rhonda to wait with a shopping cart with the remaining pumpkins. The other three each take a pumpkin apiece and go down. And they say they'll send the elevator back up. As they go down, as Chip and Rhonda are going down the elevator, they hear and see the kids wandering around by the lake. It's very foggy, so all they can kind of see is the lights from the pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah.
And they hear them wandering around, and then noises of them seeing something, and then one by one the pumpkins go out.
Yes.
And there's screams and whatnot, and by the time they reach the bottom, all is darkness and all is silent. It is of note that Emma from the prologue was told one of the rules of Halloween is not to put the light out on the jack-o'-lantern until before midnight.
Yes.
When they reach the bottom, Rhonda tells Chip to just wait with remaining jack-o'-lanterns as they will protect him. And she goes to the water edge and sees the back half of the school bus sticking out of the lake. And the masks that the other three were wearing.
The town did not look very up.
They didn't. There was zero effort. They really wanted to forget about these kids. It's really horrible. The other three kids' masks are floating in the water, and that's when two watery ghouls covered in chains and wet kind of pop up and give chase. As she runs from them, she sees a third one apparently disemboweling Chip.
Yeah.
It's fairly gross. As she's chased, she drops her glasses, and then they get stepped on and broken because that's what happens to all characters wearing glasses in horror movies. Which is a weird thing, and it always, as somebody who wears glasses, it always causes me tremendous anxiety because I know how much they cost. And if I had come home and said, like, Mom, I need to get new glasses, I broke mine. There would be consequences. You understand?
Yeah, I'm a whole grown-ass man, and I thought I had lost my best pair of glasses.
Your spectacles, your peepers.
Yeah, I mean, I wear contacts, but I thought I lost my best pair of glasses on this camping trip I went on.
Oh, geez.
And I found them, but
good.
I was half in a panic
Yeah.
as an adult.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, I have a poor memory on the best of days, so if I don't put my glasses in, like, the exact same place when I go to bed, because it's literally the last thing I do before I go to sleep,
Yeah.
is take off my glasses. I will have a full-on panic attack, because, like, in order to look for my glasses, I would need my glasses.
Yeah, and I'm always knocking them down, like, between the bed and the nightstand. Like, I'll reach for something and swipe them off.
Not
And then
good.
and half the time the next morning, I'm like, I'm just going to walk to the bathroom, put my contacts in. And I
Right.
do that, and I forget that I don't know where my glasses are. And then that night, I go take my contacts out, and I'm like, Too
Now
much time has passed. Finding them now is going to be a nightmare.
You become Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Basically.
So,
more than usual.
Yeah, more than usual. Eventually, the ghouls corner sweet little Rhonda, and as she's backing up, she falls, hits her head in a rock, and is knocked unconscious. She comes to. The ghouls are standing over her and discussing her, and she panics, thinking that they are still ghouls because that's what they look like. And one of them tries to calm her down and pulls the mask off and reveals that is in fact Schrader. And the entire thing is a horribly cruel prank.
Yeah,
why do
it's
you
just
try to
mean.
I know, and it's like why don't you try to prank somebody who has like a firmer grip on things?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, what's the challenge in scaring Rhonda?
Oh no, you pick the softest target where you can do the most damage. That's how
Right.
terrorism works.
Maybe we can make her kill herself. It just can't be that hard to upset her. But Macy is a pissy bitch and abjectly cruel for no reason. Yeah. As she wanders away, upset that her prank has now come to an end, which I don't know what she thought was going to happen after Rhonda wakes up after she's been knocked out.
Rhonda ruined everything by becoming grievously injured by the prank that Macy pulled.
Right? So she wanders off, and Sarah points out one of them points out that one of the jack-o'-lanterns is still lit. Sarah unceremoniously kicks it into the lake. She is just asking for it. And that is when, in the silence after the splash in the water, there's the sound of whispers and giggles coming from the fog. And the sounds of the ghostly sounds of ghost children ghosting.
Yes.
And yeah, we see We hear screams in the fog, and Schrader believes it to be Macy trying to pull another trick. And he tries to go out to sort things out and stuff. But I feel like if he just like punched Macy, like just like really fast in the stomach, like just winded her, like I think that would sort it all out. I think she would fall in line pretty quick. That's what I think, at least.
She'd learn something.
She would. He finds the others, and they're in a panic, and pretty quickly it becomes clear that the reanimated corpses of the 8 school bus massacred children are approaching to rend them asunder.
Yeah.
And a fine Halloween tradition. So as they run back for the elevator, Sarah they're still wearing those costumes, those ghoul costumes. Sarah gets yanked back by her chains into the fog and screams, and she is gone. And I have to cough now. Hang on. All right.
So were those chains part of her costume?
Yes. Yeah, they had chains. All 3 of them had chains on their costumes as a kind of like generic ghost thing, I think. Also, the kids were chained in the bus. They were chained to the bus.
Yeah, but the chains that she gets yanked back with,
they were attached to her.
I thought that like the ghost kids like whipped them out and got her.
No, I think it's just she's dragging these incredibly long chains behind her, and they just sort of like grabbed them as she was and yanked her, just like grabbed them and stopped moving so that she would just get yanked off her feet.
See, I thought the dead kids had weaponized the chains that held them in as they drowned.
I mean, it's not impossible. It's just that I think that they're kind of too ghoulish to kind of do that, like ghoulish in the sense of like too decomposed and slow moving to kind of effectively do that kind of thing. They're more Romero zombies.
Yeah. I guess I feel like the trade-off for being murdered as children simply for having mental deficiencies that you could not control should be that you have some sort of supernatural power when resurrected.
Animated chain demon powers, yes.
Animated chain demon powers.
I mean,
like just a hint of Ghost Rider, you know?
I don't think that's unreasonable, you know? Yeah, prehensile chains.
And I mean, they're clearly strong enough to tear a human being apart.
I mean, as the remaining 3 children get to the elevator, Wanda has already closed and locked the door, with all the remaining jack-o'-lanterns inside with her. They beg her to let them in, but instead she presses the button and the elevator goes up.
Yep.
Abandoning them all to horrible death.
Yeah, fuck them. I mean, even the one kid, the cute boy that was trying to be nice, he was in on it. Fuck him.
He was complicit in this. He's one of the people that scared her and knocked her down. Like, it doesn't count for helping me treat my wounds when you're the one part of the reason they were caused. As Rhonda leaves the quarry, towing her pumpkins in her wagon, we hear the sounds of the children being eviscerated below.
Yeah, it is grisly. It's good.
And she briefly sees Sam, who's standing in a cement pipe, staring at her, approving apparently of the Halloween traditions that are being followed.
Yeah, no, he respects her decisions and supports her actions.
Yeah, it's a wonderful moment of connection where it's like she's been wronged, and so here's the spirit of Halloween essentially telling her that she did right.
Yeah, like high five. And she's not at all surprised to see him either.
No. There's every indication that she knows.
It's just that kind of night.
She knows, you know. So, next story. Surprise party. Oh, excuse me.
Now, this one's kind of broken up more than the others. Like, you get bits of this one.
There are a lot of time jumps.
Yeah.
So you do get bits and pieces as you go along. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
we're just going to sorry.
See, now I'm kind of getting mixed up, but I feel like the first scene with them where they're
trying
at the costume store,
yes,
is earlier, right?
It's like one of the first scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, because in my notes I wrote down, who buys their costume on Halloween night. Yes. But
I think the thing is that the costumes are kind of, for them, like, they don't really care. As long as they're sexy, that's all that's important.
Yeah, it's just Halloween party.
It's not even that. For them, it's their murder party.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's the theme of the night. You've got to have a costume. It's
right,
part of the lure. It's got to look like a Halloween party, or how are we going to get the boys there?
What were they going to do if there weren't 4 sexy princessy costumes? You know what I mean? Like, what were you going to do? Is somebody going to be the creature from the Black Lagoon?
That would be hilarious.
Draw straws, bitches. Anyway, Lori, played by Anna Paquin, her sister Danielle, played by Lauren Lee Smith, along with their 2 friends, Janet, played by Monica Delano, and Maria, played by Rochelle Aites, are getting dressed in sexy fairy tale costumes in some store changing rooms, while the kid who plays Sam peeks at them, discussing the fact that Lori is a quote-unquote virgin.
Yes.
We'll find later on, as we've already terribly spoiled, that all they're talking in kind of code, to avoid scaring the norms.
Yeah.
Though this city, I don't think contains many of those. Uh,
No one in this city is surprised.
Right. It's indicated that the girls kind of party each in a different city each year. They kind of just keep it moving. Because they mention other cities like, oh, you remember this year we were here, and or at this.
I feel like they'd be pretty safe coming back to this town over and over again.
Probably. So Lori is dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. She's not happy about it, but apparently it is the tradition for the virgin who is breaking in her quote unquote virginity. And each girl, as they go along, like buying the costumes and talking and whatnot, each girl makes a point of specifically kind of flirting with a cute guy and inviting him to a party in the woods that they will all be at later. Kind of a bonfire type of thing. Lori is somewhat uncomfortable with this and tells the others that she will meet them at the party. And it's, her sister tries to insist, just pick a guy. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. And, she's giving the typical kind of virginal talk of like,
special.
I want to be special for my first time, meanwhile.
And everybody's groaning and rolling their eyes at it.
Exactly. Meanwhile, in an alley, a couple makes out. The guy kisses a woman's neck. It is fairly clear that she is very drunk. As he kisses at her on her neck, her arms all over. She looks down. He pulls back and reveals blood on his face. She looks down and sees that he has, in fact, bitten the shit out of her. He smiles, revealing vampire fangs. And she's bleeding quite a lot, as it turns out. She screams and tries to run, but the noise of the party on Main Street is just, there's no way anybody is going to notice one woman screaming. And everybody kind of ignores her because there are a bunch of drunk, loud people making a mess everywhere.
Yeah.
There are a
wearing
bunch of
fake wounds.
Yeah, there's a whole, they cut to like, they pan over to like a whole group of people all dressed as corpses, all kind of bloody and stuff, and just like, party time, pass the bong. And it is honestly the kind of Halloween party I wish I could be a part of. And we get to see one of the people that she begs for help are Emma and Henry from the opening. But they assume that she's just a drunk and bloody makeup. And admittedly, she is drunk and can't articulate very well. And also, Emma is a stone cold hearted bitch. So, oh well. And so then she turns and the vampire dude is right behind her and he throws a cape around her. And we hard cut to him depositing her dead body on the sidewalk. Leaving her to look, he just like closes her eyes and leaves her to look like just another passed out, dead drunk partier on the sidewalk that the sidewalk is seriously littered with. And this is awesome. Party like a rock star, pass out on the fucking pavement, wake up around 3:30 a.m., stumble to a diner, pancakes, home, shower, bed. Tell me you don't want that. I want that.
I want that.
Oh, it's beautiful. Anyway, we see the bonfire rager in the woods, and Danielle is fretting over Lori, who has not shown up yet. Her friends assure her that it'll be fine, but Danielle has doubts. She says her mother always said Lori was the runt of the litter, which sounds especially harsh until you know that they're talking about werewolves. It is foreshadowing. Lori, for her part, is walking by herself in the woods, very much like her costume. And when she senses somebody following her and demands that they show themselves, Shenron. When no one pops out, she tries to turn to continue on her way because it must have been the wind. And bam, the vampire dude's there. And he grabs her by the neck and slams her up against a tree. And he gives the big eyes line,
Yeah.
And he bites her neck. And then at the party, the girls are startled when a figure wrapped in a cloak literally falls out of the trees right next to the bonfire.
Well, he's wrapped in her red hood and cape.
Well, I didn't put that together. That's her cape. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
That makes more sense.
when it first hits the ground, I think the implication is that the sister is
That's
worried
her.
that it's her.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I just didn't notice that. Yeah, he's wearing a black cape. She's wearing a red one. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Danielle goes to check it out and finds out that it's the vampire dude bleeding and begging for help. Like, apparently she's just broken every bone in his body.
Yeah. And then, like, threw him so far and so high that he came from the sky and landed in their party. Or she I mean, I guess it's also possible she leapt up into the trees, dropped
and
him,
threw him down.
and then leapt back
Pumpkinhead
out into
style.
the woods. Yeah, and then leapt back out into the woods so she could walk in dramatically after they find him.
I would not put either past her.
Nah.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
She is way better at all of this werewolfing than her so-called
sister
lack
gives
of
her credit for.
experience would indicate.
Yeah. But Danielle pulls off the half mask he's wearing, and it turns out it's Principal Wilkins. Do you remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's
I
when
remember
Lori
that guy.
Yeah, that's when Lori walks in, and her costume has been adjusted to look sexy now. And her neck is bleeding, but she's all right. And she jokes that the guy bit her, and she goes and straddles Wilkins and says, "Hey, go easy on me. It's my first time." We see the girls around them start to sexy dance, but nobody, as Wilkins looks around, is there to see them sexy dance because all of their quote unquote dates are dead already.
Yeah. And he really freaks out about it. For a serial killer, he's very upset by the sight of all these dead bodies.
It's a lot. I don't know. He's having a bad night. I mean, he was having a good night.
I just think he's a fucking hypocrite and he can't handle being a victim.
That's fair. It's fair. Then the girls start to turn. Werewolf? Werewolf. But they turn in kind of like a sexy way, like their clothes split and then their skin splits and it's fur underneath.
Yeah, but then they're like real good werewolves.
Then they're good werewolves. Yeah, they're great
shaggy,
werewolves.
big-headed, like long, skinny leg werewolves.
Yes. Werewolves.
I love them. They're very like dog soldiers werewolves.
Dog soldiers,
type. Yeah,
but shorter, more squat.
Yeah, really more wolf-like, like less human body upright, more like quadrupedal werewolf. And yeah, I mean,
less worried about showing off the abs.
Yeah, exactly. And it wouldn't be an episode of this podcast if I didn't go on about practical special effects. And they were just
for that matter.
Yeah, no shit. But they were just smart enough to go practical with pretty much everything. And this is obviously a big nod to The Howling.
American Werewolf in London.
In London, yeah.
Pick your poison, you know.
The werewolf, like the transition where the outer body rips apart and the werewolf emerges.
Yes.
That there's a really terrible movie called In the Company of Wolves.
Okay.
And it's sort of an anthology, and it's werewolf stories or wolf stories, fairy tale type of stuff. To this day, I've watched videos about this movie. I never really watched it, so I probably shouldn't say it's terrible.
Okay.
But more than anything, this movie is important to me because when I was a child in the 80s, going into the video store at the mall in Columbia, Missouri, the video rental store in the mall, they had a big cardboard stand-up of the poster for In the Company of Wolves, and the image is this face, and the mouth is opening way wide. It's in profile. The mouth's opening way wider than should be possible, and a wolf mouth is coming
emerging out from inside.
And that
I've seen this movie. I have watched this movie. The
movie's not as good as the poster. I know
that. It
is
not as good as the poster. It is. It's more intensely. I mean, this is a tangent, but whatever. It's more intensely like surreal and focuses more on
fairy tale
being a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's not that bad either. It's like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I watched like a Pushing Up Roses about it, and she liked it enough, but it's corny 80s, not exactly what you expect. But I don't even want
French production or something.
I don't even want to see it because, like, to me, it's just that poster and the effect it had on me as a kid, like just the mystery of what the hell that movie is going to be. But when these werewolves start changing and they're ripping apart and the wolf's coming out, that's what I think of.
Yeah,
is just that one single image of the wolf coming out of the dude's mouth.
Right. Yeah. No, I dig it. It's cool because they're not just changing into a wolf, Werewolf in London style.
Yeah.
They're shedding their outer skin
Mm-hmm.
and revealing werewolf fur underneath.
Yeah.
Which is
and,
very cool. It's a different
you know,
aesthetic.
then they've got to go back. I wonder if they shed the wolf and it's them underneath again.
I would assume. But then
I don't
some
know.
parts of them do transform. Like we get a couple shots of like a particular girl whose eyes turn yellow, and then we see there's a little bit of CG as Anna Paquin's face
A little bit
morphs.
distends. Yeah.
Yes,
She never goes full wolf. She like grows teeth and eyes, and her face distends sort of, and then she eats the dude.
Yeah, she gives the big eyes line back to Wilkins, and you get it. I get it. It works because his eyes are big because he's scared. Yeah, it's good. So then the girls devour their dates and howl at the moon, and we cut to Sam, who is just like in the middle of the party, sitting on a log, watching everything, and
he is there to witness the Halloween.
I love that. I love that he's like just part of it in that way, and it's just he's unacknowledged. He's there. It's part of it. I love it. It's so cool.
He knows where all of the dark shit is happening that day, and
it's his job to kind of witness it.
Yeah,
because I think that's part of it too. Is we'll get into it, but it's part of like kids having that experience of being scared.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's part of it. So then we get I believe this is the final story. Yes, meet Sam. So three kids, the three clowns, go up to the porch of a dark, undecorated old house, and they knock. The door opens with nobody there. There's just darkness, and the kids say trick or treat, and they hear a fierce growling noise and see two glowing eyes in the dark. And the monster chases them, and they run screaming from the yard, dropping their candy bags along the way. Which is when old Mr. Krieg emerges from the principal story. He comes out, played by Brian Cox. I don't believe I mentioned that earlier. Brian Cox is amazing. He collects
this whole movie's full of recognizable and really good actors, and they had $12 million in 40 days to shoot all of this stuff, and God knows what order they shot it in. And
I can only imagine how fast that shoot went. Like, they had to be shooting like A/B teams like constantly.
Yeah, and there's tons of practical effects, which means that they had to do that.
A lot of stuff, yes. That's a lot. So, old Mr. Creed comes out and collects his dog, Spite, who is wearing a costume with glowing eyes on it. And then he grabs their dropped candy bags and goes back inside. Like, that's how he celebrates Halloween. As we see Krieg go and throw boxes of old photos into the fireplace. He sits down in a chair, pulls out a candy bar, bites into it, doesn't care for it, instead gets some booze, a bottle of generic booze. There's nothing. He's flipping through the channels on TV, including a colorized version of The House on Haunted Hill.
Yes.
There's nothing he likes on there because he's a Philistine, and he turns it off just in time to hear.
He starts on that fucking meat injector infomercial, flips through all that other stuff, and then just goes back to the fucking infomercial because none of the Halloween shit satisfies him.
Just in time, he hears Spike barking and sees an egg hit his window. When he runs out to the front yard to yell at these damn kids, he finds that his yard is just filled with jack-o'-lanterns.
Yes.
Mysteriously, which astounds him. But he hears Spite barking now from the backyard, so he runs back there. And this is the point where he has the conversation with Wilkins from the principal. But we get it on his side of the yard. Spite finishes the finger that Wilkins threw him and goes back inside. That's when he assumes that it must have been Wilkins' kid that put a bunch of pumpkins in his yard and threw an egg at his house. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
At this point, it's still the trickery of them damn kids, and it's like the resources alone. Do you know how much a pumpkin costs? The time to carve? I mean, come on.
So it'd have to be a lot of kids because they fill the yard with pumpkins and light them all,
and then move them silently into his yard.
Yeah,
in the mere moments between the last time those kids were he answered the door to those kids, and now, it's an insane thing.
You'd need a different kid for each pumpkin to just run in, place them, and run the fuck away.
Maybe you can do 2 pumpkins per kid.
Yeah,
maybe. But that's it's so insane. Nobody's gonna do that. So he goes and he hurries back inside. Here's the dog barking upstairs. So he heads upstairs, and we briefly see Sam as he takes out the light on the landing.
Mm-hmm.
And Krieg cautiously enters the bedroom, seeing something moving under the covers. It's a nice little bit of tension, and he whips back the covers to reveal a mechanical hand, Halloween prop, a crawling hand. Just then a pumpkin, which is a jack-o'-lantern on a table in the corner, billows flames, lighting up the room. And we see "Trick or treat, give me something good to eat," like scribbled all over the walls and ceiling, just covered all over the walls and ceiling. As Krieg goggles at this, he is stabbed in the leg by something under the bed, and he screams and falls down. Which is when Sam walks out from the other side of the bed and shows Krieg a candy bar that has a razor blade inside it that he is using as a knife.
It's the candy bar he got from Wilkins.
There you go. Oh!
Yep.
I can't believe I never put that together.
Yeah.
It's a circle. It comes around in a circle. It rhymes. It's like poetry.
You know who wouldn't have missed that?
Daniel's dad.
Daniel's dad.
I feel bad about myself. Krieg gets up and runs down the hallway, but trips and falls down the stairs because the stairs are now covered in candies and razor blades.
Yeah.
As he gets up, he sees his hands are covered in tiny little bloody cuts. He tries to get up and get to the door to open it, to run away. But he has like 6 locks on his door or something, and he just cannot.
He has 8 locks, one for each kid.
My God!
So that one I got from the trivia that I didn't pick up.
Oh my God!
I didn't sort that one out myself. I read that one.
I thought I was prepared for this. I was not. Damn it! So
You're doing great.
He can't work the locks. His hands are bloody, and he's slipping on the blood. Sam attacks again. And that's when we see Krieg run to the window, and he pleads to Wilkins to through the window to help him, and Sam tackles him. He's like flying tackles him, takes him down. As he's wrestling with him, Krieg rips Sam's burlap mask. First, he rips it down across approximately the mouth area, and when we see Sam for the rest of the film, that's been stitched together to make a kind of smile.
Yeah.
And then he rips the mask off completely, revealing Sam's freakish jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head.
Mm-hmm.
With its beady eyes and sharp little monster teeth. It's a great design. It's a great reveal.
Yep.
It's great. I freaking love it.
I really feel like I think it looks like Pumpkinhead. I mean, I think in proportion, the way the eyes and the mouth and everything go together with the big bulbous head, I think it is very clearly inspired by. And I mean, Pumpkinhead is he's got a literal pumpkin for a head. Yeah,
he's a literal Pumpkinhead.
Only so many ways you can go with that, I guess.
Exactly. Krieg gets hold of his shotgun and shoots Sam. Sam flies across the room and slumps to the floor against the front door. Krieg goes to shoot him again and ends up severing one of Sam's hands. And we see that that Sam does not have blood. He has pumpkin guts.
Yeah, he does.
Because of course he does. It's tremendous. Krieg calls 911, but the line gets cut. And we see that Sam's, and then he gets stabbed in the leg, and we see that it's Sam's severed hand running around, causing chaos, which he declares, "You gotta be fucking kidding me," which is a tremendous thing. It's just great. It's just,
yeah.
Like, he's so, like, over the shock of it all that he's just like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding. There's no way this is still doing." The hand crawls back to Sam on its own and reattaches itself. And Sam gets up, puts that mask back on, and it is game time once again. As Krieg backs up in terror, he knocks over a table with candy on it, and the booze bottles, trying to grab at one of the empty bottles so he can smash the bottle and use the broken bottle as a weapon. But as he does, Sam pulls out a pumpkin sucker, which is complete, and he bites it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he makes it into his pumpkin sucker knife. And he goes to stab, and Krieg flinches, awaiting the stab, but instead he stabs into the half-eaten candy bar that Krieg had started eating earlier, and puts it to his mouth and takes a bite, and it seems to please him. Yeah. Sam has been given candy, and now it is time for him to leave. That is all that he desires.
Yeah, he was denied candy. Children were denied candy.
That's how it works. He looks back at Krieg before leaving, and then just goes. Wordlessly.
The door just opens for him.
The door opens for him and then slams shut behind him. It's so great. It is you know, there's Sam as the spirit of Halloween, but then it's almost like this aura around him that's like the adult spirit of Halloween.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you son of a... Uh, it's tremendous. So we see, then we cut to, we see one of the photos in the fire, and we see it's the picture of the kids from the school bus massacre, and one of them is and with the driver, and we hear Krieg's ragged breath.
Yes.
And it is the breath of the driver when he pulled himself from the lake. Krieg was the driver of the school bus. That's why he's a miserable old man. Epilogue.
Yeah. And this was where, when I was watching it, you know, we're about to see the intersection of everybody like we did at the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
And for a second I was thrown off, and then I realized the time jump is that Krieg has had time to patch his wounds and shit. Like, this isn't the next moment. This is
not, yeah. No,
some amount of time later.
Heavily bandaged Krieg answers the door, and to trick-or-treaters, this time it is 3 pigs. It is not the 3 clowns, it is 3 pigs. The 3 clowns already came to his house.
Yes.
And because he damn well better. And the kids compliment him on his authentic mummy costume, which is just him trying to desperately bandage as many wounds and injuries from fighting Sam.
And when he gives them candy, he takes it out of the sling. Like, he reaches into the sling.
It like that's what he's got. That's what he's got.
He's just got it stashed next to his recent open wound.
Have some elbow wound candy, yes. It's tremendous. And as he stands at the front door watching the kids go, he sees Sam across, and then he sees Sam cross the street. Sam sees Emma and Henry sees Emma pull out the pumpkin, and sees Sam go towards their house. And he sees Rhonda go off the sidewalk dragging her wagon of pumpkins, and almost get hit by a car full of werewolves who are driving away from their wonderful bonfire, laughing and cackling over the men that they murdered.
And assuming they stole that car from somebody out there.
Probably.
Because they rode out there with the TV crew in their van.
I would assume the guy who worked at the costume store.
Oh, there you go.
We see Billy Wilkins out on his front porch giving out candy, dressed as his dad was dressed after Charlie died.
Yeah,
like,
with the
wearing his
bloodstain.
dad's glasses.
Yeah.
It's very cute. Handing out candy. And Krieg goes back inside. The sinister undercurrents of the night too much for him to contemplate. Immediately after the door closes, the doorbell rings again. And he turns, expecting more trick-or-treaters, opens the door to the ghouls of the 8 school bus massacre kids clustered on his porch.
Yeah.
Vampire Max says, "Trick or treat," and they attack. End credits. Some more comic book style images, which are still very cool. And that's the whole of it and the short of it. It's fantastic.
So good. Yeah, it's first off, one of the things that they mentioned in IMDb trivia that I didn't notice before, nobody dies on screen. Everybody dies either obscured by something or after the camera cuts away, which is interesting.
That feels very like Hays Code era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Hays Code era horror films would do that kind of thing where it's like, oh, pan to the shadows and watch the person get stabbed or something like that.
Yeah,
which
or
is,
like Psycho, where you get the silhouette and you get the blood in the drain, but you don't get a whole lot of...
You don't get the knife going into the flesh.
Yeah.
It's very kind of classic Hollywood, and I think that's part of its kind of timeless feel as well.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the spirit of Halloween and what exactly the rules are according to Trick or Treat of Halloween.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overall, what you get is a bunch of normal humans paying for their crimes.
Right. People who disrespect the spirit of Halloween in some way, violate one of these rules, end up reaping their rewards.
Yeah.
But certainly, like, specifically putting out the pumpkin before midnight, which is explicitly stated.
Not giving out candy.
Not giving out candy to trick-or-treaters. I don't know.
Stealing all the candy from the honor system candy bowl.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Violating because there is a sense of the sanctity of the night, but it's not about, abusing somebody's trust necessarily.
Yeah. Well, with Rhonda, maybe even, there's that sense of solidarity when she sees Sam.
Right.
She is one with Halloween. And
That's
she
true.
was victimized by these kids. So
the kids used Halloween as an opportunity to scare her.
yeah, they used Halloween
Not-
against her, and it's
Yes.
like her fucking thing. So
It is her thing. And I mean, like, I don't think that they're punished for damaging an innocent soul. I don't think that that's necessarily part of it.
No.
I do think that it's like, it's okay to seek intentional vengeance for wrongs.
Oh yeah.
And
But
I think
also,
that's more part of it.
but those kids are specifically using Halloween to hurt somebody.
Right.
And, which is not, Christopher Wilkins does too, and then he gets killed.
Exactly.
But-
Exactly.
And the werewolves don't face consequences because they're supernatural creatures doing their fucking thing on Halloween.
That's also true. They're kind of exceptions to any kind of rule because
Yeah.
it's like getting mad at a shark for eating a fish. Like they're
Yeah.
just doing what werewolves do. Like they're not human. They're not creatures. They're not as creatures. They're not subject to the laws of Halloween the way that the humans are.
Yeah. But I think if we're looking for specific rules, then the kids that get eaten by the zombie children clearly broke the don't blow out the pumpkins rule.
That's a big one.
And the smashing pumpkins rule. But I
Also
think
big.
more than that, the person they chose to go after and the way they used Halloween was not in keeping with the spirit, and Rhonda is a friend of Halloween.
Maybe that's it too. Maybe there is a kind of like, because Sam is not, it's to be noted that Sam is not an adult figure.
No.
It is a childlike figure. So the arbitrariness of like, this person is my friend and he should not be wronged, that feels valid to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
in the spirit of it. Like this is it. And like I said before, like the whole idea of like kids experiencing scares
Mhm.
is part of it. Like
Yeah.
you're stretching your limits of what you can take essentially. And that's part of what Halloween is about, is knowing that it's a safe environment to do that in.
Well, and it's I think commonly it's one of the first
Also,
times a lot of kids get to go be out at night on their own doing
Yes.
something.
Also, this is I'm talking about Rhonda's situation in particular. It's not even just that they scare her or they do it maliciously. It's that they physically injure her.
Yeah.
Like they let it go to the point where she is injured.
Mhm.
I think that might be more of a transgression. Just
Maybe,
because
yeah.
it's like, oh, you're allowed to scare people. You're allowed to, fear is definitely a part of it. But you take it too far and now
Right.
you've crossed a line.
Maybe, yeah. And, I would say Wilkins gets away with shit, but no, he doesn't. He gets eaten by a fucking werewolf. So,
Well, he keeps pushing the limits of what he can and can't do.
yeah.
And even this is also important. His kid Billy asks to go to the Halloween parade, party, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
downtown with him, and he says no, it's grown up time.
Mhm.
I have a date, you can't come. So maybe not engaging children and indulging
Yeah.
children is part of it too. Like because he denies his kid that kind of indulgence, he ends up kind of subject to the whims of Halloween fate,
Yeah.
as it were.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So a new segment in the spirit of Halloween.
Yes.
We're gonna call this sequelitis. Chris, if somebody came to you and said Trick or Treat was a hit, none of the people involved with it want to be involved with a sequel, write a sequel. What would you do? What would the sequel be? You had to make a sequel to Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat 2. Lay it out for me.
Well, I mean, we've already kind of established the rules, so they'd have to be expanded on. We'd need a few new things. We'd have to acknowledge the old rules
Yeah.
and maybe add a few more.
Do
But
you
we
want
also-
to?
Go ahead.
Do you want a figure besides Sam? Like
No.
you don't think so?
No, I think Sam's important. I think we just need more stuff for him to witness.
Okay.
I think it'd be cool to see like high school age kids.
Sure.
Kids that can drive, get around town and do something,
Sure.
maybe dealing with vampires, like, because you got to rotate the monsters out.
That was what I came up with, was stories that focus on monsters that weren't specifically featured in the first one.
Yeah. Like a
maybe
real vampire.
a real vampire, a more like a gothic style ghost, like a
Oh, yeah.
incorporeal kind of traditional ghost,
Like a proper
rather than
haunting.
a kind of ghoul. Then
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the undead whatever in this movie were zombie children.
Yes. I also thought maybe it would be interesting, a mad scientist type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Building what you said, like we have teenagers, a super smart kid could be doing some kind of wacky experiment on Halloween, and then things go awry.
Or some Frankenhooker situation where somebody's dead girlfriend is getting resurrected like Frankenstein in the garage.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the direction that you have to go.
But I think you have to have Sam because I think that's what's going to make it a Trick or Treat sequel.
I also don't think that you can really do the thing of like expanding on Sam's mythology. I don't think you can do an origin of Sam because I just don't think that that's what it's about.
No.
You know what I mean?
And the only thing I heard of Michael Dougherty talking about was, he had this image in his head of Sam being born in a pumpkin patch. But beyond what that means or where he came from or whatever, I don't want to know.
I think it would be fun to like the kickoff for the night is like the sun is setting and Sam emerges from a pumpkin patch.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And like just pulls the clothes off of like a scarecrow and then he's Sam.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun.
You could do an actual witch. You could do.
Oh, that's a good one.
Man, you could just do anything.
Aliens would be fun.
Yeah. Casting it would be fun. Finding the same kind of range of actors.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be cool.
I wish that it had. And what I hate is that if it had been released around Halloween when it was first made,
yes,
I think we'd probably already be 3 sequels deep. We'd probably be pissed off at the quality of the sequels we were getting by this point.
Yes, it would be a franchise and we'd be like, they shouldn't have taken that director to do it because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He sucks and we don't like it.
Or they would have made it a proper anthology by your definition and done sequels where different people directed different segments or something,
Something like that, probably. Yeah. As it is, I like the fact that it's having one writer director who's in charge, who's doing all of it, lets you have these little interconnected moments where one story flows into the next.
Oh,
and I just like it a lot. I want to live in this town where they go absolutely fucking insane for Halloween.
Yes, but I want to carry a gun because
you just gotta the rules.
Apparently, like 30 or 40 people die every Halloween in this town.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I don't think all the dudes at the bonfire had necessarily violated the rules of Halloween. I think that they were lured into the woods by the ladies.
Well, the idea of somebody who is taking advantage of an innocent person, possibly.
Maybe.
They might have felt that they were taking advantage of these girls.
Okay,
since the most of them seem pretty drunk the most of the time we see them.
So Krieg ends up, at the end, the kids come to get him.
Right.
One, are the kids only out because it's the 30th anniversary? Why did they never come before? Two, are they there because Sam directed them there?
Sam
didn't punish Krieg because he got the candy, and then he walked away.
His conflict with Sam came about because he was abusing Halloween and not getting candy.
Right.
It is unconnected to his actions against the School Massacre 8.
But that's what I'm saying. What if it is? What if...
Here's my thing.
Him murdering children in their Halloween costumes.
It's only been 30 years since the school bus massacre. Well, it's not, you've got a generation of kids that would have been raised alongside these kids. You've got their kids and maybe one more who would have heard about it and would have inherited their parents' feelings about it. And then you've got another generation that maybe only hears about it as a legend. So this is the first time that I think somebody has gone on Halloween night to that quarry and woken those spirits up.
Maybe.
And I think that's why they're coming to get Krieg. I think they've been waiting for somebody to wake them up so they can come get Krieg. Halloween's the only night of the year they can cross the veil.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that somebody came and violated the sanctity of their burial place, essentially.
Then how about this? Sam was involved, but only to the extent that after Rhonda walked away, he went over and hit the button and sent the elevator down for him.
That's fair. That's fair.
And then just walked away. Just like, let's see what happens.
Just like
let's let these kids out of the pit for one night.
I one up you. Sam looks at the elevator. The elevator goes down on its own.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing of like the door opening and
the door
closing.
Opening for him. Yeah.
And it's like, but I think that like the vengeance of spirits, I feel like it's not unrighteous. I just feel like that's not Sam's kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's kind of, he's like, no, I'm specifically like, if people don't give out candy, that's my thing. It's the, spirit of vengeance, he's not against, but it's not really his area of expertise.
But I guess I could just see him facilitating it because those were also
if he has
kids.
an opportunity. Yes.
You know, those were children that did not deserve or expect any of this shit, and this guy
Were
drove them into a
abused on
quarry to
Halloween,
drown to
yes.
death. Yeah, they were abused on Halloween. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you go ahead and get yours.
Yeah. But I do think that this is just the first opportunity that those kids have had to go and terrorize Krieg.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously thinking about them. He's burning the pictures.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's just confluence of things. And so I think like every year they were trying, and this is just the first time that they've had
Poor kids
success.
are just down the bottom of this quarry, just scratching at the walls.
Whispering and giggling to each other. Yeah, I think that's what that is.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Man, in a sequel, you could do like you could do a story based around like a grade school Halloween parade. You know how it was a staple.
It
you know?
was. It was. I remember. I was there.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get something. I don't know.
Because then you'd be starting earlier in the day. You know, it's still daylight. So then it would go daylight into the dark. I don't know. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd love for them to do another one of these, and they never will.
We're not
Because
going
it
to
was
get
so
it.
poorly handled.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's a quality film. Everybody should check it out.
It's I think it's the best just pure Halloween movie.
Yes.
I'm comfortable saying that, and I'll argue with anybody about it.
Absolutely.
But
yes.
Speaking of pure Halloween movies,
Yes.
So this
is our last
as of-
film for October.
Yeah, but as of this publishing, which will be the third Monday in October, whatever, the last Monday before Halloween, I think.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look at a calendar to remember what the hell. Anyway, we're doing a very special Halloween
very special
episode.
Halloween special. Hello.
Yeah, it's gonna be so special on Halloween.
It's gonna be special. Shout out, by the way, to Katie B. She may in fact be our #1 fan at this point.
Oh wow, we have a fan.
Yes, Katie B at my work. She pesters me when it's getting close to an episode dropping.
Yeah.
She listens to them devoutly as soon as they come out.
Oh, that's
big
awesome.
shout out to her. She's awesome. Yeah.
That's enough to keep me going.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this one will be coming out on the 20th of October, and the Halloween episode, because in October we're doing one episode every week.
Yes.
And so the big Halloween episode, do you want to say what it is?
We are going to be giving our lists of Halloween movies that are not actually Halloween movies that evoke the spirit of Halloween for us, that are not actually about, set at, or involving the holiday.
Yeah, necessarily.
So
which I have decided, I'll say this title right now because I've decided to exclude it from my list after much thought. I wanted to put The Crow. The real Crow, not Nipple-Eyed Crow.
I got you. The Crow. Cool.
But
all right.
It's
goth
about,
as hell.
well, but it's also about Devil's Night and on Halloween. Like it's set basically on Halloween. And it was too close to comfort. So I went ahead and excluded that from my list.
Wow. You're a hard ass.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Eh.
That's cool.
But anyway, it's, this movie is the one and only movie I think of when I think Halloween movie.
Yes.
But what we're going to talk about is our mood movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been working on our list. I'm going to refine my list.
Which this is great. Like the weather finally cooled off here like last week, and this was probably the coolest day we've had yet. And the leaves are just like kind of in that stage where they're wilting and a couple of them are yellow.
Yeah.
You know it's coming now. Like you can feel
coming.
fall. Our windows are open. And so we
Yes.
watched this afternoon, and it was the perfect movie for today with the windows open.
That's awesome. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah.
That's what we got for Trick or Treat. Check us out next week and start leaving comments or something. We need some feedback here.
Yeah. Send us an email at intheveinspodcast at
gmail.com.
Or
just hit us in the comments at Spotify or YouTube.
Hit us in the comments. Hit up our Facebook or our Instagram.
Yes.
Try to advertise each episode that drops, and then drop movie reviews out on that as I see them, pretty much.
Yeah.
So far, it's been like newer movies that have come
Right.
out because there's been a lot of really cool ones. I've been avoiding doing reviews for movies that I didn't like because I'm just like, I'll be positive. But eventually here, I'm going to have to be like, oh, here's a movie from like 1987 that I didn't watch. And here's a genuine, like wholehearted review of like 1981's Venom or something goofy like that.
Anyway, hit us up.
Anyway, please reach out. Thoughts, questions, comments, complaints, mostly compliments.
Yeah, we like
if you
those
would.
best, but I'm just waiting for somebody to leave a comment on something.
Yeah, I keep checking.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I have been Joe.
And I've been Chris.
And this has been In the Veins.
See you next time.
There is nothing to worry about. You're gonna be just fine.
Be surprised at the things you find when you go looking.
God, it knows I'm here.
Clear your minds. It knows what scares you. It has from the very beginning.
Plunging headfirst into some kind of black void of sheer, utter madness.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
It is entitled Naturan de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead.
You're gonna die up there.
I've got to return some videotapes.